hey, let me just start with this. Everyone has a narrative, your spoken or your written account of the connected events in your life, which really, truly is your life. My job, which I've self-identified, is to turn into this intoxicating feeling as I put together the dialogue, or as I put together just the right questions to open the guest up to share their narratives. And here's the thing, as we take a snapshot in chapter 1 of my guest's life, the hope is not just to entertain you, but to awaken an emotion that will cause a ripple effect of conversations and actions.
Gotcha.
And so my guest today, the conversation is going to be with Miss Goldie Mathews. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fantastic.
Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your journey.
No problem.
So, Goldie, look, I'm just going to go ahead and say, hey, tell me about who Goldie is.
Goldie is a person that has been through so many jumps in life, a lot of journey. I've seen it all. Actually, if you say it and sum it all, is I've seen hell on earth. But I've come out very positive and seen goodness out of those hell.
You are such a positive force that you're, so this journey that you went through it really is amazing to hear it. So talk to me about, Goldie, what is your nationality, or what ethnic group do you identify with?
Well, I'm originally an Iranian, and my religion is Zoroastrianism, but grew up in India, Bombay. I was in a convent school, so I believe in the Lord. I, grew up with so much intensity in my life.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So my understanding is that with as a mother, there's just certain, I guess, maternal things that we address or we go through. But your journey as a mother, your culture and your beliefs, can you talk a little bit about that, and starting with your own mom?
Yes. Well, my mother had 5 sons, and when she got pregnant, she actually went to the doctor to get me aborted, thinking I was a son. But the doctor said, hey, lady, it's too late. You just keep what you have. And I was born as a girl, and that's why she came up with the name Gold Naz. Gold means flower, Naz means deer. Ah. And I was the only daughter in the family.
So she wanted another son.
She wanted a daughter.
She wanted a daughter.
That's why she thought I was another son, and went to the doctor to get rid of me, abort me, thinking it's another son, because she had 5 sons already.
Okay, all right.
And then when the doctor said, you've got to keep it, so she kept it. And when I was born, that's why I was named Gold Naz.
Okay.
And I was born, of course, and with my journey starts is mother wanting to get rid of me. But the Lord had a different outlook in life for me, yes. Another journey. Mm-hmm. And when I was born, of course, I couldn't breathe, so they had to resuscitate me. And then I kept on going, and when I was 6 months, I had a big lump on my chest, and apparently my mother took care of it. In those days, they have those medicines, whatever.
Yes, back in the day, old concoctions that the old school people fixed you up.
She sure fixed me up in 6 months, but, here I am. And then down the road, like you said, it's Mother's Day. Every girl that is born as a girl. She's born as a daughter. She's born as a sister. And then she's married, and she's a wife. After the wife becomes a mother. Mm-hmm. And that's how the journey of a woman actually starts.
Right.
So, a woman plays a different role from the day she's born. A child, a daughter, a sister, a wife, a friend, a girlfriend. So women play 6 different roles. And finally, when you become a mother, it's not an easy role. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And a mother is not only the person that gives birth, because anybody can give birth. Right. The mother is the one who grows the child up, takes care of that child, because I can give birth and abandon the child. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a mother. Yes, I've given birth. But to grow that child who needs a mother in their life to take care of when he cries, to feed, to, be there and give that lending hand when he or she falls.
The normal nurturing.
You got it. That's a mother. And a mother plays a lot of roles. I mean, there are times where they don't sleep to take care of the child. The mother that sacrifices every step of their life and things they do. Speaking of myself, as a mother, I have sacrificed so much just to protect my own sons. A mother is like a lioness, always trying to protect the cub. And boy, you better not be messing with those kids.
So as a child, you were loved and cared for then as the daughter, as a girl, as the only girl?
Yes, but see, overseas, when I say overseas, India and a lot of other places, a daughter was not given that of an importance. Because in those days, now maybe it's changed, I'm not sure, but in those days when a girl was born, it was like a burden, like a curse. Because when they had to give them away, it's called dowry in different religions, where they had to pay the guy to marry the daughter. And in poor, when the people were poor, they could not afford that. Right. That's why, sometimes marriages were broken up or the daughter was given back. And sometimes for shame, they would burn themselves alive.
So then this journey from her wanting this daughter to your journey changing to that burden, when did that happen? How did that take place?
Well, as the year passes, like, in those days we didn't have technology. We didn't have computer. We didn't have calculators and adding machines.
Yes.
But as science, as people got to know technology and modernization, they realize that woman is important. Girls are important. Nowadays, there is still, the girl is a curse still, but they have changed, but not to that degree.
And why is she a curse? That's what I want to know.
The curse is because they have to do so much for the girl. When they get married, they have to literally...
Oh, I see.
Yeah, when they give the girl away, they have to give money with it. Like, they are literally paying the guy, please take my daughter. It's called the dowry system.
Yes.
But now it's not like that, but it still goes on, but it's in a hush-hush way. But things have changed.
Wow.
I mean, you're talking almost 180 degrees turn, because people has realized that we as women are not a piece of object that you can buy and sell.
We are the significance. Without the woman, where would the sons come from?
That's right.
So wow.
I mean, women are very powerful.
Absolutely.
And we have been misunderstood, like basically that woman doesn't have a voice. In those days, women could not do many things. But look at growing this year that's coming up. Every year, it looks like women are coming up more powerful. The strength, like women cannot do this or women cannot do that. But now women are in high positions.
Yes.
They're executives. They are in marketing. They are presidents and CEO of companies.
Yes.
I mean, there are women who know what they're doing and not being put down.
Right. Yes.
We are not a piece of object. We are not just flesh.
Right. And you know what? We have to know that and walk in that because our daughters are watching.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's why I said when a girl is born, it has that step. You're a girl, you're a daughter, you're a sister, you're a friend, you're a girlfriend, then you marry, you become a wife, and then you're a mother. Look at all the roles that a woman plays.
Many roles.
Many roles. And by giving birth, it's not an easy thing. I don't think a man can give a birth.
Even if he could, he wouldn't want to.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because giving a birth is not an easy thing, I mean, the woman, the child that she bears in her stomach for 9 months, she goes through so much changes, not only body, but mentally also.
And emotionally.
Emotionally, yes.
Yes.
And after the birth, the body goes through so much changes.
Right, right. So now let's move forward to you becoming an adolescent and in becoming a burden. At what point then, what happens to you in this journey?
Well,
When were you separated from your mom?
yes. I mean, before even I could get separated, as a child, I grew up, but I don't think I had my childhood because at the age of 4, I was kidnapped by 2 guys.
At 4, 8?
At the age of
Oh,
4.
wow.
So for me, at the age of 4, I learned so much where a child learns to play with toys and dolls. I didn't know what that was because that was taken away from me by these 2 monster men.
How long did they have you, or were you
2
returned?
days. 2 days. 2 men taking turn. Can you imagine what I went through? Can you guys just think what I was thinking? Mentally, I was gone. Physically, I was there. But mentally, I was gone
I had
because...
no idea.
No. And at the age of 4, the only thing that kicked in was, I need to be alive. And with the grace of God, thank the Lord, I was found after 2 days, and they left me exactly where they picked me up from. And I will never forget that day, even till today. If they take me back to the spot, I'll tell you right here I was...
You would remember that.
Oh, yes, every bit of it. It's the red mailbox like they have in London. That was the mailbox they picked me up from in India, because at that time it was British rule, and they had those mailboxes. I will never forget that
Did
day.
they ever catch the guys?
I don't know, because for me, was as soon as they let me go, I was gone. I ran. My little tiny feet that took me. I fell. I remember I scratched my knees. I was bleeding. I only had the energy enough to run to my house. And to my knowledge, taken to the doctor at the hospital so they could do all what they had to do. I passed out. I didn't ask. I didn't care. For me, I survived. I was alive. And that is a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Because getting kidnapped nowadays, and I feel for all the mothers out there and the family,
who don't know where their children are.
No.
Yes.
And I feel them, the pain, because I've been through it. I know what it is. And, people say, oh, why didn't you run away? Or why didn't you do this? Or why didn't... It is not easy. Being
Where would you go
outside.
at 4 years old? There's no running.
But even nowadays, even grown-up girls,
Yes,
they say,
true.
Why couldn't you run? One thing people have to understand, when you are kidnapped, you're totally gone.
Mm-hmm.
Body's alive, but mind is gone. You're dead mentally. And then kicks in is survival mode. Okay, what am I going to do to survive? And how am I going to survive? And as a woman, as a girl, what can you do? You are at the mercy of a man.
Right. And at that case, it was actually 2.
Yes, 2 guys. So I grew up not knowing what child was hit, because I had closed in. I shut down. I hated men with passion.
Did your culture view that as a bad thing?
Yes.
Did they blame you?
No, they did not blame me, but as a girl, it was a shame in my family, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes, because, they're very, very particular about girls being virgin, let's put it that way.
Yes, yes.
Till they get married and stuff like that. And yes, it was very bad for my family. They really could not discuss much about me. And yes, and I was married at a young age, and it was not a good thing. No.
So what was adolescence like as a young lady?
It was kind of, hating myself and blaming myself. Maybe I was the one. Maybe I'm a curse. But I overcame that by...
Right. I want to know, when did you heal through that?
The healing process started, with school, and I was in a convent school. I had, Mother Teresa, who understood where I came from and what I went through. So she emotionally gave me that strength. And with prayers, I got the strength to survive.
Right.
And
were you able to stay with your family?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, my mom and dad were very protective. After that, my brothers, I had 5 brothers, of course, and they got very, very protective. One would pick me up from school, the other one would drop me off. It was like constant. They watched me like a hawk, basically.
Yeah.
And my mother was very, like I said, she was very happy. Of course, finding out that I'm a girl, giving birth, and then losing me, and then finding me. Can you imagine what, as a mother, she went through?
Your entire family. I can't imagine that.
Yes.
You're the only girl. And you're the baby.
I am, but a mother who wanted to get rid of me, and then she's giving me birth, and then she's losing me. Can you imagine her heart?
I can't.
I know. I always, one thing I can ask the society out there: do you know the real meaning of a mother? What does mother mean? I bet you not one single person can give you a correct answer.
I just think when everybody, it's their perspective and that would be an interesting question, but it's their perspective and their perception, because everybody didn't have nurturing parents, nurturing mothers. And there are many children who they are actually mothered by grandmothers, great-grandmothers, aunts, that village of a family. But, that's an interesting question.
It is. It's very interesting. But, nowadays teenagers, I compare from the past to now, in those old days, they respected their mother so much, no matter what she was, who she was, what she did. Whatever she did was to provide.
Right.
Doesn't matter what she did. And nowadays society, some, teenagers, I hate my mother. I hate about this and I hate about her. But she is your mother. She carried you for 9 months.
Why do you think that is? That there's a change in how moms are viewed, mothers are viewed?
Because the respect is gone. The bond is gone. There is no family bond.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think nowadays, sometimes parents, when they give birth, the first thing they think about is, okay, when is you going to be 18 and out of this house? That's all they think about, is kick their kids out.
I think it's deeper than that.
It is.
It's a lot deeper than that. There are some young mothers that were children themselves giving birth. And you don't have to be kidnapped to be raped and molested. There are children, mothers who have given birth, who have been through hell right in their own homes.
That's true.
Yes. So,
and sometimes I say, look in the mirror.
Yeah.
The mirror will tell you the truth.
Wow.
No one, mirror, it's not about beauty.
Right.
Mirror is the honest truth. You put the makeup on, the mirror will say you're pretty, but the actual truth behind that is it's a fake face. The mirror will tell you that.
Yeah, it will.
You get up in the morning, wipe your face off, and you are who you are.
You are who you are.
You're two different person.
It's true.
And as a mother also, the giving of the birth, the pain, the agony they go through just to give you birth is enough to respect her.
That's true.
It
should be.
Parents should understand that it is not easy to be parents sometimes.
Right.
They have their own demons sometimes to fight.
That's what I'm saying. So we never know. So everybody views moms or mothers in a different light, and it all comes from your upbringing, your values, your morals, how you were raised.
That's true.
So when you got married, when you got to the place where you went through adolescence, you began to heal from the being kidnapped. What was the next step of your journey when you married?
My marriage was...
And how did you meet your husband?
Well, it wasn't. It was an arranged one.
Okay.
My parents had to do that because of what my background was. I wasn't a virgin first.
Oh.
And it was kind of, they couldn't even express my background.
To your husband?
Yes.
He didn't know?
No.
Okay.
The family didn't know. And, he was a very, very rich guy, too. And, of course, I married him, but he didn't know. And that's a secret that I carry till today. And he's not here, of course, thank God, because when I was forced to marry him, because of society and name, he turned out to be a monster too.
Do you think he did know then?
I don't know if he knew, but men do know. I mean, they know.
They passed, yes.
They know. Men are very intelligent in that area too. And yes, I had a feeling he might have known, or maybe he came to know later.
Okay.
But my marriage night was a joke because he never came home with me, the same car to travel. He went separate, and I went in a separate car.
So he wanted to marry you because of your dowry then?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of, both family being rich.
Okay.
And, yeah, he just wanted to get married to make his parents happy. Because they're, again, the parents force them, why don't you get married? You're at a certain age, and they also have certain standards that they have to get married. So he said just to make his parents happy, maybe he just said, okay, I'll marry you, no problem, let's do it. But it was not a good journey.
Okay.
Not a very good journey. He abused me. He turned out to be totally a different person. He's dislocated my shoulder 3 times. He beat me a couple times that I threw up blood to death. He raped me over and over. So the memory of kidnap came back.
Right.
Because
the trauma was revisited.
Yeah. And, I could not do anything. I could not go out. I could not have friends, though I was, a woman. And then I got pregnant. And I remember he used to beat me when I was pregnant, too, so I could have miscarriage. But
he wanted you to have a miscarriage.
Yeah.
Oh, but God had a different plan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And, I gave birth to a baby girl.
Okay.
And I became a mother.
Okay.
But that was taken away from me. He took that away from me, too.
He took your daughter?
Yeah. Yeah. So, as a mother, I just kept quiet. I mean, it's senseless to fight because I knew he would beat me up. So I stayed within my own heart and soul and shut down.
Is that the culture of men in India then? And that when in your
in
era?
those days, yes. I mean, women used to get beat up all the time, and they could not go and tell society because it's kind of a curse or a shame.
To tell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you couldn't. What can you do? You become so helpless. So as a woman, in those days, you cannot do anything but just basically shut up.
Just take it. Did you tell your family? With 5 brothers?
I could not. Because at that time, my brothers came to United States, and my other brother was in Tehran. 2 of them was in Iran, Tehran, and then 2 of them was here. And my 5th brother, who was 1 year older than me, he was young also, so he was in his own little world. But no, I never told my parents because I just could not. I was afraid because if I would, he would beat me up again. So to avoid the pain of getting beat up, I beat my heart and shut down. I beat myself in silence. What can you do? That's, again, survival mode came back into my mind. It's like, just to survive, I'll just keep quiet. I mean, sometimes he would come home and beat me for no reason. It's like, really? I mean, the postman used to come near the door, and I tried to, sign for a letter. He would say, oh, how long are you signing that letter? Are you trying to date him or something? It's like, no, I'm signing a letter. I mean, there are times I just would not even answer the door, just to stay away from that pain of beating up, I mean, I know what is abuse. So not only as a mother did I take the pain of getting raped and giving birth, but as a mother, I sacrificed in silence not to even ask questions about my child. That is the sacrifice of a mother.
Wait a second. So while you were still there with him, he took the daughter away? Where did he take her to?
I don't know. In my knowledge, he said that she was dead when she was born. So I kept quiet.
He wanted you to have no joy.
No.
Just
so
to
as
be
a mother,
miserable.
no. I felt the motherhood, but I didn't feel that I was a mother.
Yes.
And that's the journey of motherhood starts.
How in the world did you get away from that, Goldie?
That's a miracle. Like I say, I thank God, because without His help, I don't think I would have been alive today. I'd be in the United States. Thank you, America.
You're a survivor.
I am a survivor, and I thank the Lord for it, because apparently my brothers one day said, told my mother, why don't you bring our sister to visit America? And my mother came and told me, obviously he was not home, because if he would know, he would have...
You would never have gotten to go anywhere.
No. So my mother told me, I said, sure. And I quietly gave my passport to my mother. And at that time, my dad knew somebody, and I got my visitor visa. And how to get out of the house was a question now. So I did break down and told him that I am visiting my brother. He says, okay, then only thing you can do is take the clothes on your back and one extra clothes, and that's it. In my mind, I was thinking,
who cares, right?
In my mind is God has given me this path. He's shown me the way.
Right.
Sometimes God works miracles in His own way.
Absolutely.
It shows you the way. And if you don't listen and go through that path, then it's your fault.
Yes.
In my mind is, I don't care if I go without clothes now.
If I'm stark naked, I'm leaving, right?
I'm leaving. So I told him, okay, and he said, if you don't come back, I'll cut you in pieces.
Is that what your husband said?
Yes. Let's put it that way.
Okay, your ex-husband.
Wow. And, in my mind is like, if you will get my body, you can then cut me in pieces, because I'm gone.
You were a fighter.
Oh, you have to. And whatever I had on my body, with what clothes, 1 or 2, and I grabbed as many of my education certificates. I could not get it all, because then he would suspect again. So whatever I could grab, I grabbed. And I was on the flight to United States, which is my freedom.
At that point, when you got here, did you tell your brothers what was going on?
No.
They still didn't know.
Still did not know. My mother knew. She had suspect, because she had seen all bruises on me. The bruises. And she could see the pain in my eyes. You'll be surprised at what a mother can see.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
You might stand and say, no, Mom, I didn't do this. Oh, no, no, no. You can say no as much as you want. But I'll tell you, the mother has so much power that they can read through your eyes.
That's that maternal connection.
Oh, yes. They look in your eyes and they know either you're happy or you're in pain.
Honey, I don't even have to be in the house with my children, and they are adults, and I can feel when something's going on.
Yeah, mother have that sixth sense. You can say the gut feeling.
Yes.
Even when you call, something in your
voice. That's right.
Says,
yes.
You might give that fake laugh or whatever you want to say, but that mother instinct kicks in.
Right.
That's why they say mother have some kind of powerful spiritual thing in them that they can read you.
Absolutely.
They can understand you.
Yep.
And they will reach out. I tell you, mothers, do not mess with them. I mean, fathers, I'm not saying fathers are bad. Fathers are great. Men also have that. But what a mother, God has given that to the mother, the woman.
Right.
Especially when you become a mother. Right. God gives you that some kind of a strength, that spirit that you can connect.
What's really strange is, but it's strange but beautiful at the same time, is my grandmother was even like that with me and the other grandkids. It was just something that she just knew. She could talk to you.
Yeah.
She didn't even talk to you. She would call you and say, so what's going on?
Yeah. That one question, what's going on?
And you just knew, like, she knows something is going on.
And when they call you out of the blue, and especially when they ask you, are you sure?
Right.
When they ask you 2 or 3 times the same question, you better be answering the truth, you know. Don't keep on dodging the ball, because I'll tell you, they'll get you.
Yes.
And moms, a mother is such a beautiful thing,
It
you know.
is.
And especially with Mother's Day coming up, I tell everybody out there, I don't care how young you are, how old you are, they say, you might be 50-year-old. The mother will still pick up the phone and says, how are you doing, honey?
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell her you're okay because you know you're lying.
And I'm giving accolades to not just mothers, but aunts who step in like mothers,
There you
to
go.
grandmothers who are mothers,
Yes.
to the great grandmothers who are being mothers to their great grandchildren, and to fathers
Yes.
who are raising their children like mothers. Because there are women today are walking away, and there are men that are stepping up
Yeah.
and taking care.
That's right.
Taking care of business.
Oh, yes. That you said the
So
word.
happy Mother's Day to you guys too.
Yes, all the guys out there. Just because you're not a woman, we're not trying to say that you're a woman to be a mother.
Yes.
But fathers do step in,
Absolutely.
and just because you're stepping in and taking the role of being there for the child, hats off to you.
Hats off to you.
That's why I said
Right.
you don't have to give birth to be a mother.
That's right. Yeah, you said that from the very beginning. So now, when you decided I'm not going back, and your brothers supported that you're not going back.
First, they did not. They wanted me to go back because they didn't know the truth.
Okay.
In their mind is, hey, she's
You
going
going back to your husband.
Yeah. And my mother is quiet and praying and doesn't know how to break the news. But I think she finally did break down and tell my brothers. And I broke down and told my brothers
Okay.
when they literally forced me to go back. And I said, I can't. You'd rather kill me here. I'd rather die than go back. And that's when the truth came out.
Okay. All right.
And that's when
And then, of course, they're like, you are not going back there.
No, they did not. They supported me all the way. And my dad was still there, but he did not tell my ex-husband what was going on because he didn't want to be getting in trouble too, because he's crazy. My ex-husband is totally crazy. He would do anything to hurt my parents too. Oh yes.
Wow.
It sends a kind of a down your spine.
It really does.
Gives you kind of a goosebumps. But
So now, are you worried about him now, many years later?
no, I am not. I shouldn't be saying this on the air, but if I was forgiven one thing, he would be the first on my list.
Got it. Enough said.
You got that right. He would be on my list because, the way he's tortured me and beat me up, I think God gave me the strength to stand up to that.
Yes.
My shoulder, he dislocated 3 times. I have seen death.
No, God still has a plan for you. Have you you shared with me that you made contact with your daughter, though?
In fact,
years
it's
later.
the other way around. I thought in my eyes she's gone, but it's funny. April the 1st, April Fool, you play jokes.
Yeah.
For April the 1st, my mom's cousin called me and said, I have something to tell you. I said, I've got nothing to hear. What do I have left to hear? She says, no, you remember your daughter? I said, yeah. She says, she's there. She's very much alive. I said, it's April Fool. You quit playing around,
Mm-hmm.
And as a mother, at that time I was a mother of 2 beautiful boys here. And it's like, quit playing. She says, no, it's true. She is alive. She wants to see you. She wants to see who you are. Wants to come to United States.
It's beautiful. So did you get a chance to meet her? She did come here?
To be honest, she did.
Okay.
But the best part is I didn't know how to react.
Okay.
My phone just fell off my hand. It's like the earth literally opened up.
Is that community radio?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm telling you, music is always good. Music is
and so
you.
she came here, and you met with her?
No, she could not come here. It was not an easy journey for me, because for me to even grasp that moment that she is there, and a mother's thing kicked in.
Okay.
I said, oh my gosh, okay, what am I going to do? But in all this, none of my kids knew. None of my husband knew. The father of my 2 boys did not know anything. I didn't know what to do. And then again, it's like, as a mother, what can I do? I don't know who she is, I'm not seeing her, and she's almost 21 years.
Wow.
After 21 years.
Did you get to talk to her at least?
No.
So there was still no connection?
No connection, nothing. And that time I didn't know what to do and what to say. And I was trying to get help from a lot of people. And I will thank the lawyer. I think her name is Terry. And I spoke to her. I said, how can I do this? And she says, the only person that can help you is Mr. Senator Evan Bai. At that time, he was a senator. And if anybody's hearing me out there, if you ever can help me find this gentleman, Mr. Evan Bai, I would like to thank him, because he's the one who helped me get my daughter here.
So she did come?
She did come.
Okay.
But I had to go through DNA testing, and it was so much. And finally, when she came here, she was only with me for 3 months. And I don't know if she told her father or not, but when she left, she told me that she wished I was not her mother. She told me, I hate you. That's why I said, be very careful what you tell your mothers. And left. And after that day, I don't know where she is.
Do you know why? Why was she so? Well, because she didn't have
no connection. I don't know what
he told her.
And what she's been through because of me, because she looks exactly like me.
Does she really?
Yeah, we used to, when we went out, when she was here for a couple of months, I didn't know how to even take her. What will I say to her? I mean, for me, it was like, as a mother, yes, but how do you react? 21 years.
Does she have connections? Because you have family still there, right?
As my mom's family is there.
Does she still have connections with your family?
I don't know anything. I have no idea where she is, what she's doing. Nothing. And, I'm selfish to say this. As a mother, I don't want to say it, but I wish she had not contacted me, because now a part of me, my heart
is still empty.
Is empty, because now I'm wondering what is going on. Hope she's not going through what I have been through. I would not wish this on anybody, not even my enemy, to what I've been through. What I have been through as a mother, like I said, it's not easy. It is not easy. And I give hats off to all the mothers out there.
Yeah.
A great shout out, because I know they do everything to protect the kid. They work hard. They do, beyond their imagination. Some of these kids don't know what their parents go through. Yeah. And a mother.
Parenting is the hardest job ever.
Yes.
It's the most rewarding also, but it's the hardest job ever. And there's no pay for it.
No.
Well, let's fast forward to now. You got married here. You have 2 sons.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that.
Well,
where did you meet your husband?
Oh, that's funny. I met him at Kroger's. I was a customer, and he was a produce manager.
Okay.
Oh, boy, yeah. I always tease him. I said, I married my white boy. So. And my kids, yes, they are wonderful. They have their father's eyes, hazel blue, green eyes, my hair, dark black hair. And even when I say motherhood is so important, is because when I thought I had freedom in the United States, but unfortunately that was also taken away from me.
What do you mean?
By immigrations, because they said that I'm married for green card. And at that time, the situation of Iranian hostages, and I had an Iranian passport. It was not easy. I went through hell again.
Did they try to send you back?
They said, no, they did not, but they told me I couldn't do anything. Basically, I was under house arrest. I couldn't study. I could not do nothing till I got my green card. So,
okay. I see.
You usually get temporary things to work and all, but it was painful. I wanted to become a doctor, but I can't. And touch wood, my boys today are starting to become a doctor. They are becoming a doctor through my eyes. Sometimes mothers and parents don't get what they have to do because they've given up so much for their kids.
Maybe your journey is for them.
It's for them. And
so they're both in medical school now?
Yes, I'm very proud and honored. And my oldest one is in the Army and stuff like that. So it was not easy again. And then September 11 came. I was throwing coffee on my face because this guy blamed me. He says I was the cause of it. The first time when the Twin Towers were hit.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
Yeah, you don't think about that part of it.
it was painful, and I won't.
Were you here in Fort Wayne?
Yes, I was in Fort Wayne. I was on Spyron. I was a general manager at Burger King. And I will thank Frank Lyles, who was there. He was my opening, guy. He helped me, saved me. And Corinne Rose from News Channel 21 interviewed me. And to protect my son again as a mother, I sacrificed all their sports. I didn't go to their school. I didn't go anywhere next to them, so they would not go through what I went through. I didn't want the kids to bully them or beat them up because their mother was a foreigner. That's the sacrifice a mother does. That's where the motherhood comes in. That's why the word mother, I said, if anybody can give me a definition of what mother is, I would say hats off to you.
Right.
Because you cannot define mother in one single statement.
It means many different things.
Mothers wear so many different hats.
Wow.
It is unimaginable.
Wow.
The word mother is such a powerful thing.
So now, what's next in your journey?
My next...
What do you're very involved as a community advocate right now.
Yes.
Let's talk about some things that you're doing now and what's next in your journey.
Well, I'm involved with Mr. George Middleton. We have Hands Across Fort Wayne, which is a diversity group.
Okay.
And it's not only about blacks and whites. We are trying to bring different groups from different parts of the world, no matter if you're Hindu, Muslim, blacks, white, brown, black. We are all human. We come butt naked, we go butt naked. It's just the skin. We don't look at the skin, look at human. We are all human beings. The word human is so important, and we need to respect that. And that's the problem nowadays. We are still trying to differentiate each other with color.
Right. What does Hands Across, you say Hands Across America or Hands Across Fort Wayne?
Hands Across Fort Wayne.
What do you guys do?
We meet, we have meetings. We had a gathering in month of Feb, I think, or Feb, yes. And we got the community to come together to understand what it is.
Okay.
What is our group about? Group is not about just sitting and saying, hey, trying to point out fingers to each other. Sometimes we have to undo ourselves to understand the others.
Yes.
You have to dig within your heart to see who you are before you point fingers to others. Come together as human, come together as people. When you join hands, there are so many different color hands, but you're still joining your hands.
Right.
When you fall down and you help somebody, you're not looking at the color. You're looking at how can I help you?
And so you guys have meetings to do as a support group for cultural support group?
Yes, we help people.
Do you have any events coming up? Have you had any events?
We had one event in February. We're planning to do events. I think it's next month. And Mr. George is our CEO, and Mr. Fernando, who is also the Spanish guy. He's very important. I spoke at the Parkview Mirror Research Center about my life story, and I spoke at the summit at Rudisill, to take my journey. It's not only about my life story, but to empower women, to give a voice to women that, yes, I am a person. I have a voice. Yes, we can talk. Yes, we can discuss without getting mad at each other, without insulting each other or trying to put each other down, We women are our own enemy.
Think so, huh?
Yes, we are. Because we are trying to compete with each other.
Absolutely.
We're trying to, if you notice when you're going somewhere for a party or someone, each woman is trying to dress up better than the other woman. They're not dressing up for themselves, to make themselves feel beautiful, but they're saying, okay, how can I beat that other woman dressing up better than her?
I think society sets that up too, though.
But we women do that to ourselves.
Yeah, we do that.
We need to support each other.
Yes. So how is Hands Across America, what is their plan to do that?
They're trying to bring people together.
Okay, I see.
You go outside, one day just go outside and meet someone who you don't know, sit down and have coffee, or say, hey, hi, how are you? Sometimes you say hi to someone and they look at you like, are you crazy?
No, see, I see that totally different here in Fort Wayne, because Fort Wayne, the Midwest, is such a welcoming place. And I guess I say that because when my son was in California and I visited there, They were not, sorry, California, but they were not very friendly as the people are here.
Our Fort Wayne people are very, very humble.
Yes, very friendly.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
But there are some people still, if you say hi, they look at you like are you stupid? No, I'm not crazy. I'm just saying hi out of gesture. And I always tell people, if someone says hi, just say hi. It
Just
doesn't
say
hurt
hi.
you.
Right.
Just smile.
Right.
I mean, God has given you that face, has given you that teeth, Hey, smile and be happy.
Right.
Life is too short. You walk out the door, you might go collapse and you're gone. Just be humble. Be nice.
I can't see anybody looking at you and just looking at you like, what's wrong?
Trust me, I have been through that. You will be amazed. I know. I'm a very, happy-go-lucky person. Because out of the hate and what has happened to me, I have turned that hate into such positiveness.
That's good.
Why I'm always happy. There's a saying, I remember back home, they say, people who laugh and have fun and they're always happy, within their heart, they've been through so much pain. That's why they bring the happiness out.
I've heard that about comedians also, that
Yes.
comedians are, they can laugh and tell jokes because of what they are going through or have been through internally.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people say, forget. No, you cannot forget.
Right.
It's like a scar. You have a scar. The scar is always going to be there. It will heal, but the scar is always going to be there.
Absolutely.
Same with memories. You cannot forget, but you can move on and
Right.
forgive. People have to learn to forgive. It's the hardest thing that people do is not forgiving.
How do you deal with all that trauma now, all that trauma for your past? Have you had therapy? Do you go to therapy?
No, I have not had therapy, but sometimes I get really bad anxiety, like, claustrophobic.
Okay.
Really, really bad. It comes and goes real fast. But no, I have not had therapy, but I have prayed a lot. And believe me, it helps.
Yes.
It does help, prayer. And sometimes, people say go to church. Sometimes your little room, a small house, a room in your, even car, driving, if you talk to God, God is listening.
That's right.
You don't have to make a special journey. I'm not saying don't go to church.
Right.
Go to church. Yes, it is good. It gives you kind of a serene feeling, a peaceful feeling. But if you don't have time, just talk to God. Believe me, He will answer
Absolutely,
you. He
will.
listens.
That's
right now, He's listening to us.
That's relationship. And so relationship can be one-on-one in your little prayer closet.
Yeah.
Or in your car or wherever.
Yes.
You are exactly right.
And doing good deed is
Yes.
a kind of prayer.
You're right.
Helping someone, not accepting or expecting anything.
Anything. There
A
you
lot
go.
of people say, hey, if I do this for you, man, what are you going to do for me? That's not the way to go. And nowadays, kids, the young generation is our future.
Yes.
We as parents should make them understand
Yes.
what kindness is. We as a mother should sometimes set an example.
And I hope that's what Hands Across America is going to do, is reach back to the young people.
We are.
Because that's our future.
I don't mind,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
go to churches and speak. I love to go to schools
Okay.
and talk to the kids and tell them the journey, the hate, what I've been through, and they can ask me questions. I'm not afraid. Parents can sit down with them and ask me questions, because when they hear these things, the kids will say, if she can do it, I can do better.
Right.
Because they are our future. They are growing up. Girls, boys, teenagers. Just love each other, respect each other. And if you have a problem, don't take it out with violence.
Right.
The
Those are
tongue is the most dangerous thing.
It really is.
Pen is the most important thing. If these two get together, imagine how powerful it is.
Wow.
Mind is a beautiful thing.
It is. Well, Miss Goldie, listen, I will give you a final thought.
My final thought on motherhood is, all the mothers out there, hats off to you, what you've done for your kids. And happy Mother's Day to you. And like you said, happy Mother's Day to all the fathers who've stepped in and played the role of a mother. It's not easy being a man and taking care of kids. And all I can say is respect, communicate, and be nice to each other.
Thank you, Goldie.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all the audience
All
out there.
right. You're listening to Speak Now, jamming with my jazz in 95.7 FM, WELT.